Welcome back to all of you. I'm Professor M.S. Patil, Department of Mechanical Engineering, MVP Samajas, KBT College of Engineering, Nasik, Maharashtra. In the previous video lecture, we have seen what is a bearing and what are the different types of bearings, which sliding contact bearing and rolling contact bearing. Now, through this video lecture, I'm going to explain what are the different types of rolling contact bearings. So to start with, the different types of rolling contact bearings are deep groove ball bearing, cylindrical roller bearing, angular contact bearing, self-aligning bearings, tapered roller bearing, and thrust ball bearing. One thing will be common in all these type of bearings is that they all are anti-friction bearings, and the type of friction is generally the rolling friction, and the contact will be either a point contact or a line contact. They are capable of taking either radial loads, axial loads, or combined radial and axial loads. So one by one, we will see all these different types of deep rolling contact bearings. So the first one is the deep groove ball bearing, or simply we call it as a ball bearing. Deep groove ball bearing can be a single row or a double row deep groove ball bearing. You can see in this particular sketch, it's a single row deep groove ball bearing. The construction is there is outer race, inner race, balls, and a cage which will ensure that the balls are evenly spaced. Now, if we see the construction of this deep groove ball bearings, then the radius of curvature of the grooves in the races is slightly more than the radius of the ball, and therefore the balls fits easily in those spaces and roll freely without any sliding, and therefore we call them as, or the contact between the ball and the resist is a point contact. Such type of bearings are capable of taking radial load as well as axial load, as the contact between the various elements in the assembly of the bearing is point contact, and therefore we can say that friction is very much less, and it operates with a minimum amount of noise. So these are the advantages. It can take both radial as well as axial load. It operates with less noise and less friction. But there are disadvantages of these bearings also. The first disadvantage is that it is not self-aligning bearing. Self-aligning means exactly what? The axis of the bearing should coincide with the axis of the shaft which is supported by that bearing. If it is so, then we can call it as a self-aligned bearing, or they are aligned. If it is done by itself, then it is self-aligning bearing. Otherwise, it is not a self-aligning bearing. The bearing should be always a self-aligned bearing. But in case of deep groove ball bearing, it is not a self-aligning bearing. That means if there is any linear or angular misalignment between the axes, then it cannot tolerate that. The second disadvantage is the poor rigidity due to point contact. Second type of bearing is cylindrical roller bearing. It is very much similar in construction with the deep groove ball bearing. The only difference is that the rolling elements, which were balls in case of deep groove ball bearing, are replaced by cylindrical rollers. Now here, instead of a point contact, there will be a line contact, and therefore the load carrying capacity of such bearings are more than big groove ball bearing. So we can say that due to line contact, the radial load carrying capacity of the bearing increases, which becomes the advantage. Again, they are more rigid because rollers are having line contact, and therefore the rigidity is ensured. The coefficient of friction, as again, it is a pure rolling motion, therefore friction is less, and they will operate with less friction even at high speed. But there are certain disadvantages also. Again, it is not a self-aligning bearing, and it cannot take any kind of axial load. So we can say that cylindrical roller bearings are generally used when there is a pure radial load. Again, it makes more noise as compared to deep groove ball bearing. The third type of bearing is angular contact bearing. Here you can see the grooves cut in the inner race and the outer race, in the surfaces of the inner race and outer race. They are cut, the grooves are cut in so shape that when the balls are spaced, the axis of the balls will make a certain angle with the axis of the bearing, and therefore we can say that this type of bearings, angular contact bearings, due to the axis of the ball inclined to the axis of the bearing, okay, we can say that such type of bearings are capable of taking both the loads, radial as well as axial load, due to angular contact. It has advantage. This is the advantage actually. It can take both radial and axial loads or thrust load. The grooves are so shaped that more number of balls can be inserted, and therefore we can say the load carrying capacity of such bearings are more. But there are again disadvantages. If we want to take the bearings, the axial load in both the direction, then two bearings are required for taking thrust load or axial load in both the direction. They are mounted without any axial play, and they are to be mounted with certain initial pre-loading. So these are the disadvantages of angular contact bearing. The fourth type of bearing. What was the disadvantage of what we say the deep groove ball bearing and the cylindrical roller bearing, that they were not self-aligning? And this disadvantage is overcome by this bearings, self-aligning bearings. Self-aligning bearings can be either ball bearings or they can be either roller bearings. You can see the outer race from the inside is so shaped. The shape you can see over here, it has given certain shape in both ball as well as spherical roller bearing. It is so shaped that it can adjust to any kind of misalignment between the axis of the shaft and the axis of the bearing, right? So we can say that they are used where there are chances of certain misalignment. And again, the comparison of self-aligning ball bearing and self-aligning spherical roller is that spherical roller, due to line contact, can take more amount of radial load as compared to the self-aligning ball bearings. Next type of bearing is the tapered roller bearing. It is very much different in construction as compared to other type of bearings. It has again a separable construction. We can say this particular portion, this portion, and this portion, they are separable. These are the three portions. This outer portion is called as curb. This portion is called as cone, and these are the tapered rollers which are inserted. Okay, so it has a separable construction, and the advantage of such type of bearings is that they can take heavy amount of radial as well as axial load. We can see over here the tapered rollers are in the form of a frustum of a cone. They are arranged in such a way that the axis of individual rolling elements, you can see the axis of individual rolling elements. This is the axis of one rolling element. This is the axis of another rolling element, and this is the axis of the shaft. So we can say they are arranged in such a way that the axis of individual rolling element intersect in a common apex point on the axis of the bearing. Therefore, taper roller bearing can carry both the radial and axial loads. As the following advantage, it can take radial and thrust loads. More rigidity is ensured, and they are very easy because it's a separable construction. Okay, assembled and dismantled due to separable parts. But again, there are disadvantages. If we want to take the bearing axial forces in both the direction, then they are to be used in pairs. The construction can be face-to-face mounting or back-to-back mounting. Again, they cannot tolerate to any kind of misalignment. That means they are not self-aligning bearings, and the most important disadvantage is that they are costly. And the last type of rolling contact bearing is thrust ball bearing, which is capable of taking only thrust load. It cannot take any radial load. It consists of two rows of balls running between two rings, right? The shaft ring and the housing ring. You can see one ring, another ring, and the rows of the balls. They are capable of carrying thrust load in only one direction and cannot carry any radial load. So advantage is that it can take high thrust load in one direction. But disadvantage is that it cannot take any kind of radial load. It is not self-aligning and cannot tolerate any misalignment. And due to rotation, see here, most important thing is that they are to be used with vertical shaft, and therefore when they are rotating, they are subjected to centrifugal forces and gyroscopic couple, and therefore they are subjected to very poor service. Again, they cannot, as already told, they are to be used with vertical shafts. They cannot be used with horizontal shafts, and a continuous pressure is to be applied to hold the rings together with the help of external springs. So this are the disadvantages of thrust ball bearings. So we have studied all the 4 or 6 types of rolling contact bearings. Now, how to select the bearing type for the different conditions? If we are having low and medium radial loads, right? Load acting on the shaft are low and medium, right? And that too radial load, then ball bearings are to be used either single row or double row. But if it is heavy radial load and large shaft diameters, then we will prefer roller bearings instead of ball bearings. We are supposed to prefer roller bearings for heavy radial load. If there is misalignment between the axis of the shaft and the housing, right, then we will prefer obviously self-aligning bearings, that can be ball bearings or spherical roller bearings. Again, for medium thrust loads, thrust ball bearings are used, but only in one direction. For heavy thrust load, cylindrical roller thrust bearings are recommended. We can go for tapered roller. For combined radial and thrust load, deep groove ball bearing, angular contact bearings, and spherical roller bearings can be used for combined radial and thrust load. For high-speed application, deep groove ball bearing, angular contact bearings, and cylindrical roller bearings are recommended. For high rigidity, right? See, single row deep groove ball bearing is having very poor rigidity. So in order to increase its rigidity, we can go for double row cylindrical roller bearings or tapered roller bearings. And for noiseless operation, we have to go for deep groove ball bearings. Noiseless operation means, say, bearings which are used in household equipments like mixers and grinders. We can go for deep groove ball bearing. So depending on what kind of loading condition or what kind of operating condition is, we can select a bearing type depending on that. Hope you must have understood all the different types of rolling contact bearings and selection of bearing type. In the next lecture, we will talk about the different types of loads acting on the bearings, that is static load, dynamic load, equivalent dynamic load, and life of bearing. Till then, thank you for listening the lecture very patiently. Thank you very much.